Okay, we are live. Um, okay, I'll start, I guess. So on my front, I'm happy that the notification overhaul has been done. I'm going to start working on fixing some of the notifications very soon because right now, basically the way the notifications were envisioned earlier, I mean initially with HiveMind, was that when you do something that's forbidden, there is no way for the user to know that he did something wrong. Um, And the initial idea was for it to be done via notifications. And right now, all of the error notifications are sent to a table that's never exposed to the user. So I need to look into this. There is also some optimization regarding the you can use index regarding the follows. I don't know if the follows are still if that was changed by the overhaul or not. Um, so I might look into this as well. Also, I'm working on adding the pair ID to the recurrent transfer virtual operation. My issue with that is I'm struggling to the tests are failing because I need to update the schema repository, but I'm struggling to find where in the schema repository the where the schema repository is referenced in the main Hive repository. Because I need to link like my branch from my merge request, unless like we merge it into master, but we want to do things the other way. So yes, I'm working on that. Basically mostly optimization in HiveMind, and maybe I need to talk with Asgarth from PeakD to see if how like we want as a community to align on notifications. If we want more, if we want less, maybe like some if we can add a because right now everything shows in the notification, but if you want to actually display the error notification, maybe we can have like a notification type so that we can have like a tab in the notification. Like, do you want to see notification or notification errors? That's about it for me, I'd say.
Okay, according to you, problems in Hive branch specific to extending virtual operations by missing pair RD, I think it is caused because you have updated schema package only in one place, probably in at Hive site, but this package is referenced also through other packages like Wax and test tools. And to fix it, you just need to update it in whole suite, just to use same version. And after that, you again need to run Poetry log update to generate it, and probably that will fix it. Uh, if you will have problems with that, please leave a message in merge request. We will take care for that. I know it can be troublesome for some people. Uh, and my one remark specific to military side of changes. Could you extend tests for recurrent transfer for case to show why per RG was important in such virtual operations? So for cases when recurrent transfers are targeting same account multiple times, because that was the issue actually, which detected Michael during his testing, and he reported it to Hive. Other changes probably looks fine, so that only extending tests should be needed to complete that. Of course, commits should be also cleaned up,
Yeah,
because right now there are in mess, but maybe you want, as usual, squash them. I don't know.
yeah, I'm probably gonna squash them. But yeah, you'd like a test that basically where I do two
Yes, I'd like tests which show that virtual operations,
different. Yeah,
different virtual operations can be generated for non-zero pair ID
yeah,
targeting the same account pair.
yeah. I agree. Yeah, I'll get that. You'd rather have this as a like a unit test would be fine? You would rather have that as a
Yes,
basic
yes,
test?
yes, of course. Unit test will be sufficient for that.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I'll work on this. I'll add this probably
I
to
think
the.
it can be extended one or added new one similar to existing tests in tests
Yeah, I
which
agree.
you need to modify just to make them working again.
Mm. Okay, nice. Nice. I'll try it out for the schema thing, and worst case, if I don't manage it, I'll just after I'm done with the unit test, I'll just ping you guys.
Okay, to complete that, easiest way is first start in schema repository, which I believe you
Yeah.
already did. Then go through WAX and test tools propagating the change. And finally, you need to update test tools in Hive repository, which should complete changes.
So the goal would be to merge then schema then wax then test tools, or
Yes,
everything. Okay. Okay. So basically, I'll submit merge request and we'll merge it as we go.
yes, exactly.
Okay. Nice. Sounds good. That's pretty much all for me, I think.
From our side, you probably have seen that's actually a part which usually Blocktrace is reporting that latest release have been finally published, and such details probably Blocktrace will announce next time on meeting. Here
Actually,
already written.
the most of things were already in his recent posts. I'm putting the link in the chat. So if you have specific questions, I think me and Bartek can help you with that.
Beside of that, we have did important optimization of WAX library, which few times allows to speed up transaction processing. What was needed by our work specific to writing bots library, and what probably will be good news for Brian. We finally got working our prototype for supporting Python API calls, and I hope Python WAX will be released in May, and we will be able to execute similar flow as in TypeScript right now to process API calls and create and broadcast transactions from using Python WAX.
Thank you. Looking forward to that.
Okay. There is good support for IntelliSense and tools supporting Python libraries, so I hope using it will be quite simple and so nice as this is done in TypeScript. From the other sites in HiveG, it was partially mentioned on previous meeting. We are very close to merge optimizations in HiveD, which allow to significantly reduce its memory allocation, and I hope it will be completed also in this week. Actually, such changes was not merged yet because of release which was processed last week, and right now I hope it will be possible to do that. And mostly that's all from my side. If you want, if you have some questions, please ask.
If no one has questions, I'll happily provide an update. Okay, so I'll take that as a no. Okay, thanks. Into our user interface. So you have now, as part of your chart, another line that can be enabled by the user to view their savings, whether in HBD or in Hive. We also expanded our mini Hive chart layout on the Block Explorer so that it can be expanded, and you have a maximized version of the chart that allows you to view a candlestick pattern as well as a line stick pattern, as a line pattern for the Hive historical pricing, all from on-chain data. We've done modifications to the UI also in support of the recent API changes all across Hive up to the recent release candidates. I think the 6. I think we pushed the change today that would support most of the recent changes. We modified all of the searches across the Block Explorer to become as a default with no filter. This has been optimized on the back end, so we see no longer the need to limit it to 30 days. So by default, all the searches will yield the unfiltered results. In relevance to this, we also implemented a new search display that includes a segmentation of blocks, because sometimes when you query the search, the API searches with some parameters like an account or some operations, you don't always get, or most of the time, you don't get all the operations. You get them segmented into blocks. So you get maybe block 95 million down to 91 million, and then you have to pull another round, kind of like a pagination that is on a larger scale, which contains another pagination inside. So we implemented a support for this on the user interface so that user knows what range is currently displayed in terms of the blocks, and then they can paginate within this range or a segment, and then they can move on between segments to the right or to the left. We added support for mobile tooltips. So on mobile, you don't see the tooltips currently available on the Block Explorer. Now on the click, you can actually see the tooltips available there. We've been troubleshooting issues with the backend team on Health Checker. It's been a bit of a nuisance for some of our devs, but yeah, we're working on this. Let me see what else. So we pushed the latest version, I think earlier today, to both hivescan.info and to Test Explore, so you can play around with the latest updates of the develop on both of these domains. And I would guess this is basically it from our side. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Actually, I have one question about the chart for the prices. Is it still like outside view or internal market?
No, we completely implemented this as on-chain, so it's the internal market.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. By the way, since you mentioned this, one weird thing we got, and probably this is something that needs some investigation, or we need to raise an issue about it, is that when we call the API about the market data, we receive back results with open, close, the whole 4 fields that would allow you to chart the candlestick. But we're seeing a lot of fluctuations in days that don't have fluctuations. Maybe this is more to Bartek, or maybe we need to put an issue. I don't know if it's for HiveD or HiveMind. But yeah, there's this like on a day where you don't see fluctuations, sometimes you see the price moving 20% up and down. So you see these crazy wicks. Maybe this is something that needs to be explored or looked at on the back end of things.
Yes, of course, you can write the issue. It depends on which API you are observing such fluctuations. So if you don't know where to write them,
so probably it's for HiveD, because it's the only place when we have the market history.
Yes.
Yeah,
probably
that's where
then.
my initial thoughts were. Yeah, I'll probably throw in an issue there to look into it. Thanks.
I just tried. I just tried to open Test Explorer side. Maybe I have wrong backend pointed, but
No, probably the same as me, as you can't see the numbers of operations, right?
No. I see application error. A client-side exception has occurred, and while
On
I'm
Test
trying
Explorer?
to open, yes, on Text Explorer,
That's
but
odd.
I tried to open this. But maybe,
On
as I said,
HiveScan, I'm getting the numbers of operations, but I can't see them on the Test Explorer, so probably the version difference.
yes, maybe that's backend in different versions. I need to check it. We will look at that later.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, could you also deeper look at health checker issues? Because in our opinion, problems which Lucas had last week are caused by using developer tools in browser, and because health checker performs quite a lot of checks, browser collects too much data, and this is a reason why he has problems, and without using developer tools, application should work fine. So our diagnosis
Yeah,
is that.
I saw. Yeah, I saw the last comment. Yes, I understand. It's not, by the way, it's not only Locus. I also have Dima, another developer who was facing some issues. There's a couple of issues now reported regarding Health Checker. One of them is that sometimes you get errors popping up. I forgot what the message was. Let me just check quickly. I think I have. No, I don't have it in front of me. So randomly you get this error that's popping. Yeah, API endpoint URL. I reported this. It's pending a little bit now. But the other thing is that in your console, in your developer console, you always get these errors. This is because there's too much checks. And I know, Jacob minimized the number of queries happening, but it's still, I mean, there's still so many checks happening. I was wondering, I mean, if there is a way for us to
yes,
instead of doing this.
This tool is intended to perform checks to collect valid statistics.
I know.
We verified it and created some example application drawing a charts, and it worked fine through few days. So actually, I can. I'm quite sure that this code should work quite correctly.
From what I see, I'm not sure if it's part of the Explorer itself or maybe the health checker, but the amount of calls is really high, and probably for the normal operations it should be reduced, because we don't need to check on the nodes that we are not using currently to what's their status, as long as our primary or already chosen one is behaving good. I don't know, but that's I guess better for the offline check.
Yeah, exactly, Gandalf. That's one of the things we're thinking about. I mean, there's too many checks happening for too many nodes, and sometimes the nodes are actually, I think they're rate limiting, so you get some errors coming through from the nodes. So I don't know if there's a way to optimize this, make it less intrusive. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't personally.
For the rate limiting, I was talking with Bartek previously that we will trying to find a solution to be for the WACs to be well behaving when talking to API nodes. So it would be hidden from user all the complexity of figuring out how quickly they should communicate with API nodes. I mean, handling too much request, which is HTTP 429 errors and so on.
Yes,
But
of course, and such works are planned there to extend API call support and hide such fake errors against final users and avoid failures of API calls when they can be easily retried after some time.
Yeah, that's really better. And also maybe remove all these too many logs from the console. It makes the development too difficult.
Actually, I'm not sure if such logs are caused by WAX because we don't have such code in the library. Maybe a component using WAX is performing such console logs just because of some debugging purposes or something. But
it's not
definitely,
health checker that's it's not health checker.
yes. Health checker, actually, health checker is built using low level WAX component, which is exactly called health checker, and on top of that is built a web component created by Jacob, which allows to reuse it in client applications. And probably such errors are logged by this web component, not by WAX. So we need to investigate that, or maybe by some higher level application. I don't know how it is integrated in Block Explorer. Maybe it just calls some error handlers from your application, and because of that, you are seeing a lot of errors in the console.
Yeah. By the way, Jacob integrated this to Block Explorer. So
yes, I know, I know, and probably he will need to look at that and see why there is a lot of errors.
Okay, perfect. Yes, I mean that would be very helpful to avoid those too much logging. I mean, this can be really annoying for developers, and I mean for even users to just get so many logs in the console. Yeah. Okay, I'm done with my updates. If no one has questions, if anyone else wants to share something, you're welcome.
Just very quickly, I'm working with the VSC guys a lot because the whole way that I handle sats at the moment, this thing I've got called Keep Sats. I want to transfer into their smart contract system, so that's chugging along nicely. But they've got lots of work to do, and I've got lots of work to do. But the decentralization of my value for value thing is in progress. So there is progress being made, and we also, I'm still using Nectar, which is the development of Beam, and I think I've got a pretty good asynchronous way of streaming blocks. So I'll be interested to see what Wax is like when that arrives. But I'm going to hopefully feed back into Nectar the way that I'm streaming blocks in Python, which has become very, very reliable, and which is something that Beam didn't used to do. It delivers the virtual and the real transactions all in the same stream if you want them that way. So you get a whole block's worth of real transactions, and then you get the virtual transactions that were triggered by them. And yeah, that's not something that was easy to do in Python, and it took me 2.5 years to figure out that it was hard. So anyway, those are my updates.
All right, thanks. Anyone else? Okay, then I guess we can call it a day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, and start preparing
All right.
for the Hive Fest already.
I cannot attend.
Thanks all. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
It's the middle of my semester as well. Yeah. Take care, guys. Bye bye.